Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I'm coming to you guys with a vlog, which I haven't done a vlog in a long time. I had this idea because I got this book for Christmas and I was like, I have a couple other books that have invisible women, women you can't see. So I decided to do a vlog on unseen women in books. I'm kind of excited about this. So I have three that I'm going to be reading. The first one is A Sudden Appearance of Hope by Claire North. And this is about a girl who, I don't know if she's cursed or what exactly, but as soon as she leaves your presence, you forget you had ever known her. So she, I think, goes down the road of like, you know, thieving and robbing and stuff like that. And then when you don't see her, you forget about her. And then she comes across somebody who doesn't forget about her one day. This will be the first one that I'm going to read. I'm also going to read Julia Vanishes by Catherine Egan. This one's actually a trilogy. I'm not planning on reading all three. And this one is YA. The other two are adult. And this is a girl who I think she can just will people to not see her. She tends to go like people just, she's looked over all the time anyway, but she can also will you to not see her. And I think there's some thieving involved in that as well. So what I've learned so far is that when people can't see you, you do bad things. Or when you think people can't see you, you do bad things. Who knows? And then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which was a very, very, very talked about book last year. I got it for Christmas. I wanted to read it, but when I had this idea, I was like, I need to find time to go through with this idea. So now is the time. I'm between buddy reads, and I've allotted myself 2 weeks to read all three of these books, and I'm going to read them in this order that I talked about: first, second, and third. That is the order they came out. This one, in case you didn't know, Addie LaRue makes a deal with the devil, I think. I forget why, to live longer. I don't really remember. And her penalty is that when she is out of sight, you forget about her, and then she comes across somebody, I think, as well, that remembers her one day. In addition to which, I think there's like a love triangle or a love thing going on with her and the devil, or something complicated. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, but I will. So I am going to try and just vlog every day, and then talk about what I have read each day of which book, and my thoughts and so on and so forth, to see if basically three authors have written the same book, or if they are slightly different, or things like that. How the magical part of forgetting, invisibility, or whatever goes. So my plan is to start with this book. I am finishing up a buddy read probably tomorrow, and then I'll start this one hopefully. In addition to which, I do have a couple or a book club book that I will have to read during that 2-week period as well. So you might see a little bit of that as well. I did also get all three of these on audio so I can switch back and forth as I need to. That way I could guarantee that I could read it within that 2-week period. Sometimes when I just have a paper book, if I don't actually have time to sit down, I don't get things read. So I will be checking back with you guys hopefully at least once a day to let you know my progress and my thoughts of where I'm at. I'm excited. And also, if you guys have read these books, please be commenting and all the things, because it'll be all of the fun. I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, day one here. I went ahead and I started this this morning. Sudden Appearance of Hope. It is so far what I thought it was going to be: a girl who people forget. Like, she turned 16 and people are forgetting her. It's been going on a while, I guess. Interesting. And she's chosen to become a thief, because what better profession for somebody who's forgotten? So I'm like 15 chapters in, I don't know. I'm going to take it to work today, and I'm going to work on it between clients. I have about 30 minutes between clients, so I can get a little bit read, and then I have some work around the house tonight, so I might listen to it a little bit too. So I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Okay, so it's day 2. I was going to do a little wrap up yesterday, but I didn't have any room on my iPad to film, so I finished editing the video I started and got it off of there. I am almost halfway through this book. I'm liking it. I think it initially I'd heard that it was sci-fi-ish. I don't find it super sci-fi outside the fact that you don't remember her. I mean, that's the only sci-fi thing about it that I found. Otherwise, it's a lot more, I don't know, like socio-economical, political. So the idea is, I'm just going to show you this nasty closet so I can rest my hand. Ignore all the extra bars. I work at a CrossFit gym. So the idea behind it is that there's this app, it's called Perfection, and Basically, you get this app and it tells you what to do to make you perfect. So it tells you what clothes to buy, where to shop, where to get your hair done, what hairstyle is best on you. Like, and so it's like a marketing thing, because people, like big companies, pay to say, hey, shop here kind of thing. And the whole point is, at the end of this, you get points, and by the time you have 1,000,000 points, you're like perfect. So outside of the fact of like who decides what's perfect and who wants to be perfect, perfect is boring, like there are a lot of flaws with this whole, hey, we're gonna be perfect thing. But the bigger thing to me is like people are like paying to do surgeries to change themselves to look like they're supposed to and sound like they're supposed to and remove freckles, and I'm like, huh, like gag me. And there is a character you meet, just a flash in the pan, who's like, yeah, I got the app and they told me that I wasn't cool because I came to this video arcade, so whatever, I took it off my phone. But it still tracks them, and it tracks like what they purchase and where they go and all this stuff, and it's always building data. Like, this is some freaky crap, and it's probably not too far off of what we actually have now. So Hope, our main character, kind of, she's a thief. She accidentally steals something that tips off the people that run this company to make them not like her and kind of have it out for her. And then she gets contacted by somebody who the company that wants her dead, the company has said, oh, this person's a terrorist, they're contacting you and you're working with them. And she's like, I was contacted, but I don't know nothing. I just want to steal some jewels. That's all I want. A simple world where I could steal jewels. So, I mean, she's not a perfect person at all. She's very morally gray and very dark gray, probably. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm halfway through, and things are happening I didn't expect to happen. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to read the other 2 books, but I'm enjoying this one too. Hopefully I'll give you a wrap up at the end of the day. It's like 3 now, so hopefully I'll have time to read more. Okay, it's way later, and I didn't get a whole lot of time to read. I got a few more chapters. I'm on chapter 66. I don't know how many chapters there are. 100? Come on. I don't know. So, sorry. I'm super tired, and it's like 1 something in the morning. I'm going to bed. But, I am very much enjoying this book and where it's going. I feel like I can't tell you things because spoilers, but it is not going in the direction I thought it was going to go. We've learned more about Prometheus, which is the company that has the Perfection app, which just wants to like change you physically, and like it takes away like free will and stuff like that. Like they do some pretty freaky surgeries. So yeah, we've learned a little more about that where we're at. Otherwise, yeah, it's just the plot developing and Hope making decisions about her thieving and things like that. I don't know. I really feel like I can't say much. But it's definitely interesting. And I'm over halfway through the book. So I don't know what I'll get read tomorrow. If I don't finish it tomorrow, I'll finish it Sunday. It's Friday, by the way. Yes. So that is my plan. And then I will move on to the next book. So, and then I'll start comparing our Invisible Women from book to book. Yay! See you in the morning. Good morning, friends. I am sitting in bed reading today. I'm in bed because we have family here in town. So I didn't want to share you with them. Something like that. I've gotten like 5-ish chapters read, which is good. And I think I'm going to try and finish this book today, even though I have a lot left of it, because since I've been reading this book, I've had the weirdest dreams. The weirdest dreams. I can't keep having those dreams. So I feel like I need to switch it up. I need to finish this so I know the ending. And then I need to like read. I don't know. I want to read something else, but I said I was going to move on to Julia Vanishes. Maybe it'll be a little bit lighter. It's not that this is heavy, but it is heavy. Like it's dealing with like issues, like life issues, like conforming and like conspiracies that there are companies out there that want to like break you and things like that. My girls are being super cute. If you don't judge how messy my room is, maybe I can flip this around and show you. So cute. There she's very up close. And there's the Sunny. And the Tempe too. So cute. Anyway, I have to go run an errand. I cannot take them with me, however. But I have an errand to run. So I have to stop reading right now. I might listen to the audiobook. I have been listening to it some. Off and on, like when I'm in the car and stuff like that. I don't love the audiobook. Like it's good, but the narrator kind of reads all men with the same voice. So there have been a couple of times I've been confused of what dude we're dealing with. I mean, there aren't a lot of dudes in it. There's a handful. And a lot of them are just like here for a scene and then gone. But there's two that are around for a while, and I kind of was getting them mixed up earlier because I was listening to the book in the car, and I was like, why would that guy say that thing? So I had to go back and look in the actual book to see who said what. Whatever. I'm probably going to listen to it while I go run this errand, and then I'm going to come back and try to read more. Hopefully I'll check in with you guys later. Like I said, we have people in town this weekend, so I'm hoping I can get things read. I would like to, so that weird dreams will either stop or conclude or something. Okay. Thank you for watching my PSA. Okay. So I'm reading. I have about 140 pages left, so I feel like I should be able to get this done today. I'm on chapter 75. So first of all, they have like really short chapters. Sometimes like that's a chapter, like page and a half. She's in California. No spoilers. She's in California and she decides she wants to go east. She hops on I-80. I live in Nebraska. I-80 comes right through the middle of Nebraska. So it's funny, but I think because she's British and she's not familiar with this place, which I mean, I imagine you should look at a map, but what do I know? I've never written a book. She's talking about places, like she lists them. So this is what she lists. Evanston, Rock Springs, Rawlins, Laramie, Cheyenne, Fort Collins. So that is through like Wyoming. Excuse me. And I-80 does go through Wyoming, but most people coming here from California aren't going to probably come that route. I think they're going to come from the south underneath the Rocky Mountains, or maybe through it. You can come through it too, but they're probably going to come up through Utah and go through Colorado. They're not going to zip up to Wyoming. I mean, why waste your time zipping up through Wyoming? She does say she goes through Salt Lake City in the chapter before. And then this one, she's listing places that are in Wyoming. And then she says she's slowly drifting through the landscape, Lexington, Kearney, Grand Island, Lincoln, Omaha. So that's straight across Nebraska, west going east, which makes sense. And I grew up in Kearney, which is crazy that it's in a book, which is fun. And I've been to all of these places, all these tiny towns. A decaying industrial heartland, Denver, Fort Morgan, Sterling, Ogallala, which is going back west, because that's Denver, it's Colorado, into western Nebraska. Ogallala is in western Nebraska. I bought a car from somebody in Ogallala once, right? So yeah, it's like she didn't quite look this up. So I'm pointing this out because I just read it and I was like, what? No. Yeah. So she got her maps wrong and went backwards. Maybe the character went backwards. Maybe she came all the way to Omaha on the east side of the state and then went back to Denver, flew back to Denver, and then reclocked, which that's not even I-80. That's like 81, 76. I don't remember. I've driven it before and I don't remember what it is. So Claire North, I know you're British, but do a little research, man. You don't even have to come here. You can just look up on a map. It's fine. But found it funny. Did draw me out of the moment. Which this book's getting a little dark. I think I said that last time. It's getting a little dark and twisty. Puppies and Marky. Okay. I'm going to go talk to my husband and then get back to my dark and twisty book. Bye. Okay, so I did take my book into the party. I did, and I read book. I have about 45 pages left, so I wanted to finish it, but I can't read it too close to going to bed or I'm going to have weird dreams. So, I'm a chicken. I'm just going to go to bed. But I will finish it tomorrow, and then I'll probably start the next book tomorrow. I might read my book club book between that. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in. There's 50 pages left and everything's still fairly, or 45 left, dire. So if it's super serious, I might need a bit of a palate cleanser. We will see. So good night. See you tomorrow. Good morning, friends. It's like just before noon. I went to church, came home, and I haven't read anything. And I have a baby shower I have to go to. Not my thing. And then I have a bunch of family in town again. So I'm realizing that today might not be a big reading day. I'll probably just catch up with you guys tonight. Well, you know what? I've had time to read. I need to read my book club book too. So I want to finish the last 45 pages of Hope, and then read 100 pages of Inheritance Game, and then start Julia Vanishes. But I'm not in control of my day today, so we will see. Good day, my friends. It is a new day. I didn't sign off yesterday, which is okay because I read like 6 pages, I think, almost the entire day. But I did have a chance to finish the book this morning, which is good. And now I'm thinking about it a lot. So I need to think about this. In addition to which, I need to read my chapters for Inheritance Game today. And then I was reminded that I borrowed a book from a friend and I need to finish it by Friday. So, and I'm doing that thing where I read half a book and then put it down. So I have half a book to read there too. So I might take a couple of days off. It'll seem like no time to you guys though. But I'll be back when I start Julia Vanishes and have processed a little more of this book. So I might talk about my thoughts on it a little bit more. And then I'll start the next one. All right. I'm back. Day number 5. I started this just this morning. And I'm like a quarter of the way through it. I started it by listening to it. I listened to the first like 3-ish chapters, and then I've been reading it at work between appointments. And it's not exactly what I thought. She does like have the ability to like vanish at will, which kind of reminds me of Sam from the Diviners series. If you guys read that, I loved that series. And that's what it kind of reminds me of. Only it's a different world. Like I actually assumed it was like Old England or something, and it's not. It's its own thing, its own world where there's like magic and witches and there's like witch hunting going on and stuff like that. So it's definitely different and not what I expected. But if I can get a little more read or listen to as the day goes on, I could maybe get through this in 2 days. So we'll see. Okay, so I actually got a fair bit read today, maybe a little under half of the book. It's pretty good. It's not what I was expecting. I feel like I said that about the last book too. It's not what I was expecting. It has a lot of world building. It has a lot of like, this world that we're in has like different religions and religions that have conquered other religions, and they're still on planet Earth. Like they pointed that out. They said they're on Earth, and it kind of has like this old English feel to it, but like different, distinctly different like religions, and there is magic in there. They've danced around it a little bit, and then they talk about witches a little bit too. So it's interesting because there's more world building. I wasn't really expecting that. But I guess if it's going to be 3 books, you're going to need some world building. It's interesting to me. And it is not as much of an Invisible Woman story as the last one was, but I'm still going to finish it. So I don't know if I'll get half a book read tomorrow or not, or finish it tomorrow. And then again, this weekend, of course, we have people in town. So we'll see what I get read. I'm hoping I can get it finished. If not tomorrow, then early Saturday. So check in with you tomorrow. Bye. Alrighty guys, day number 6, I think. Still reading this thing. I'm a little over halfway now. I have a second bookmark in there. I'm a little over halfway now. I think I'm on chapter 14 now out of 25 chapters. So what I'm thinking is my goal for the day is going to be to get to chapter 18 or 19, just reading between appointments and over lunch and stuff like that. Like I said, I have a busy weekend. I have a friend in town and my mom's in town. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have to read like tomorrow. I don't think I'll check in with you guys. I'm probably going to plan to read nothing tomorrow, which means that I should hopefully finish the book Sunday. Today's Friday. So yes, so there might not be a day 7. Day 7 we might skip a day, and day 7 will be a different day. Anyway, it has less and less to do with her being visible and more to do with this world and world building stuff she's in. So, I mean, I like it, but I don't think it really belongs in this vlog. So, but I should finish it soon. It's a really quick read. So there's that. Anyway, that is where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll have a little bit of a checkup tonight before I go to bed. Okay. Alrighty. It's late. And I'm going to be brief because I'm very, very tired. I got to chapter 18, through chapter 18, so I stopped at 19. It's getting good. It has less and less to do with her being invisible and more to do with this world and the world building. I have like 90 pages left. So, hopefully I can finish it tomorrow. I don't know. It's going to be a really busy day tomorrow, to be honest. And if I get anything read, I'll check in with you guys. Otherwise, I'll check in with you on Sunday. And hopefully I'll have this finished and start adding LaRue. Good night. Hey guys, it is day 7 here. Good news. I didn't really do much yesterday, but day 7 of the vlog, finished Julia Vanishes. I have thoughts about this book. It definitely didn't go in the direction I said it was going, or I thought it was going to, like I said. I did enjoy the world and the world building. If you like world building and you're good with YA, you'd like this. There wasn't too much romance in it either. It was very low in the romance. I do think I'll continue reading these books. I like them. So I'm going to do that. But I feel like, I don't know, like the action scenes weren't great. The action scenes were like, instead of me reading an action scene, I felt like somebody was telling me about an action scene. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's what it felt like. It felt like somebody was like, oh, then she kicked this guy in the shin and she bounced off the wall and she broke so-and-so's sword in half or something like that. Not like, I don't know, like Sanderson. I feel like I'm in the action scene. And a lot of other writers, I feel like I'm in the action. Did not feel like I was in the action. In this, I felt like somebody was telling me about the action. I don't know if all that makes sense. It makes sense to me. But that's kind of how the writing was there. All the other writing, though, I would say was good. I gave this a pretty solid 4 stars, though it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. Still enjoyed it. I liked the world. I liked the magic system, at least the magic that we were told about. There's a lot I still don't understand, but I did like it. And like I said, I will continue on. And a thing I didn't like about it is, so Julia has this ability to vanish. And there are a few times where she's like in danger and she could literally just vanish and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, there's a girl here. No, there's not. Oh no, what's the thing? But they wouldn't catch her because they can't see her. And I think there's a few times that she could have vanished and saved herself some trouble. And she doesn't do it. Like her knee-jerk reaction isn't like, oh, I'm going to vanish. Her knee-jerk reaction was, I need to run. And I'm like, but you could vanish and then like move, hide, and then you don't have to run. But maybe it's because I hate cardio. I don't know. There are times that she's not using her ability to the level I think she could be using her ability. And maybe it's that she's young. She's like 17, 18 or something like that. But there are times that I'm like, you could have vanished there. Saved yourself a lot of problems. Just a thought. I need to start reading, dun dun dun, Addie LaRue, what started this whole vlog in the first place. But book club books are a calling. So I'm going to be reading a faux love story. I'm actually going to be listening to it. And I'm hoping I can get it done in like 2 days. It's a pretty quick listen. My arms are tired, guys. I'm going to move. Okay. Now I'm resting my arms. I worked out. I'm tired. So yeah, I'm going to switch to faux love story. And I'm going to listen to that quickly. I really want to start Addie LaRue. I also am reading Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which I've read before with my other book club, and I have to read 100 pages of that. So I could maybe listen to that too. Anyway, I'm going to try and get both of those done, and then I'm going to start Addie. So you probably won't see me for a few days, but I will come back on the day that I can start Addie. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to get these out of the way. I want to read Addie in like 4 days or something, I think, is what I was thinking. So Addie's around 400, I think it's 444 is how many pages, at least my book is. And it comes in 6 parts, and then each part has chapters in it. So I think I'm going to aim for something like a part and a half a day. Yeah, and somewhere around 100 pages a day is what I'm going to aim for, I think. And then we'll go from there and see if I can do it. So my goal is going to be about 4 days reading for this. My dog. That's going to be my goal. So we'll see if I can do that or not. I want to get these other books out of the way and then hopefully just be able to get Addie done in 4 days. We will see. I've known quite a few people who have taken longer to read this, and I'm not the world's fastest reader. I do have it on audio for like 6 more days. So if I'm on it, I could listen to it and read it or read it. So we'll have to see about that. Anyway, I will be back soon. It'll be like no time passes at all. Don't worry. You won't miss me. Hello. Welcome to day 8. I'm going to take off my glasses. That is distractingly glary. I'm starting Addie LaRue today. I actually started it a little bit ago. Maybe half hour ago? I don't know. So I'm only just getting started with it, but I have a goal. I want to read it in 3 days. Today's a Sunday. and I'm really busy over the next few days, but I'm going to do my best. I have this one on audio too, but I only have it on audio for 4 days. So if I'm going to listen to this, I got to get on it. So my first thoughts on it, like two or three chapters in, it jumps from like present day, 2014, even though I think it was written last year. Yeah, it was written last year. Back to like 17 something, 1730 something, 13, 14, 17, 14. I don't remember now. But it kind of jumps back and forth. It reminds me of How to Stop Time by Matt Haig, which I read earlier this year. And it also jumps back and forth. And I did not like that aspect of that book. So I'm hoping this isn't too reminiscent of that. But I'm like three or four chapters in. And I'm not super engaged yet. I kind of want to go read something else. But I will persevere. I will not do that. And I'll come check in with you guys soon. Alrighty, it's super bright here. No wonder I liked reading here. You can ignore all of the sun shining. It's actually hugely overcast today. Maybe that's a little better. There you go. Now you can see my dirty house. No problem. I just got done with part 1 of Addie, LaRue. It finally got interesting. The first little, oh hi, we have a friend. Hello friend. The first bit of it was a little much, like I didn't particularly want to, like, read it. Maybe I'm just in the mood for something else. Out the door they go. But it really did pick up, like a chapter ago. And like I said, I just finished with part 1. I think there's 6 parts. So I sectioned off 3 bits to read, so I can read in 3 days. Like section 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5, 6. I have about 70 pages left till I get to the end of section 2. That was my goal for today. So we'll see about that. I'm going to sit and read a little bit longer, but I need to go do some laundry and adulting. Oh, we'll see about that. It is just starting to get interesting. She just met the guy, I assume this is the guy, who remembers her. So hopefully it'll start to pick up. I feel a little bad that I'm not like loving this out of the gate, saying that everybody loved it out of the gate. I guess I don't feel bad. I take it back. I don't feel bad. I'm a little surprised that I'm not loving it out of the gate because like I said, people are like raving about this book. And maybe I just need to not listen to that because you get the hopes up too high. Probably very few books can live up to that. I don't know. I'm also a little tired. It's been a great weekend, but it's been a long weekend and the dogs just keep coming in, going out, going in, going out. Anyway, I will give you an update tonight before I go to bed. All right. It is stupid late. I should have gone to bed hours ago. Book, I didn't hit what I wanted to. I wanted to get to the end of part 2. It's like 160 some odd pages, and I got to like 140 or 130 something. So I have like 25-ish pages to go to get to that. So I'll just try and add that to tomorrow's reading. See what I can do. So tomorrow I'm trying to get through part 3 and 4 and then stop at part 5. It is getting better. It is getting more interesting. We've had more interaction with the person that remembers her. And it's definitely different than Hope, which I will talk about later. Right now I'm just gonna go to bed. Okay. Happy day 9. It's not morning, it's afternoon and I'm at work. Reading Addie. Scrapped the cover because, you know, I was about to ruin it while I was reading during breakfast this morning. I got my 40, 30, whatever pages read, so I am caught up, which is good. And then I am supposed to read like 150-ish pages today, I think, is where I'm at. And I am on about 100 more pages to go. Good news is I'm at work. I'm about to go work and do a massage, but then I have a break for an hour, so I can just sit and read, which would be fantastic. I also have book club tonight, so, and it doesn't tend to go too late, so I might have more time to read tonight too. So I will check in with you if I have time. Otherwise, I'll just check with you tonight. But I am enjoying this more. It is a pretty quick read. It just took me like a solid like 150 pages to really get into it. So there's that. All right, I am home from work. I'm actually gonna probably eat something and just hang out with Mark for the evening because he's fun. I did get to part 5, which was what my goal was for Addie, LaRue. It's picking up. things are happening. I'm definitely more interested now than I was at the beginning of the day. I'm probably going to read a chapter or two. And then Mark and I are going to hang out and eat dinner and watch something. So I'm going to sign out now and hopefully just talk to you guys tomorrow after I've had a chance to read more. But I mean, maybe a third left, which is good. This is the quickest I've read of, well, I guess I read Julia Vanishes in like 2 days, but pretty quick, which is good. So hopefully I can get this read and then I'm going to have a little discussion with lots of spoilers. So prepare yourselves for that. But it is picking up. We're learning more about Addie. I'm not as interested in her as I am in the character Henry, who's kind of the other main character guy. And his storyline to me is a little more interesting. This book did have some pacing issues, I would say, at the beginning especially. So, and I know people like this book is like beloved, so I hesitate to say negative things, but honestly, it just was a little bit slow for me at the beginning. And Addie's not the most likable character either. I mean, I might be unlikable too if I was cursed with nobody remembering me. And it's not just that you can't remember her, she can't like leave her mark on society. So like, if she stabbed you, you wouldn't really be stabbed. Like, yeah. Or if she like goes to write a letter or text, nope, can't do that. Nothing shows up. It'll disappear as soon as she does it, kind of thing. So I guess that could make me grumpy too. Who's to say? Who's to say? Anyway, I will check in with you guys on the morrow. Okay. Good morning. I'm at breakfast, you know, in my own kitchen, drinking my coffee, eating my eggs, reading Addie. I'm only a few chapters in. I should have some time to read today. I'm hoping I can finish it. I have about 120 pages right now to go. I'm gonna get on that and get back to you guys soon because I think the AC repair guy's here. So, okay. Okay, so I'm reading. Bit of a break. And there's a thing. She's been like retelling some of the stories of like her life and things that have happened. And I'm kind of like, gosh, she remembers everything so well. Like, I couldn't tell you what I wore 3 days ago. This woman remembers like 300 years ago. It's pretty impressive. And then there's like this, I don't know, asterisk to this curse that she has where she has the ability to remember everything in detail, very accurately as well. So that's interesting to me. And I'm glad they addressed that because I was like, how could she possibly remember all this crap? That's how. Also, Schwab uses the word palimpsest a lot. So I looked it up. I was like, I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. So it is a manuscript or piece of writing material on which the original writing has been affected to make room for later writing, but of which traces remain. Also, something reused or altered, but still bearing visible traces from its earlier form. So like she kind of refers to Addie as a palimpsest. So like a ghost of herself almost, something in process. I mean, it's interesting concept, but I don't know if it's high-handed or if I'm just stupid. Could be both, but I'm like, I just want to read a book. Like, I don't want all the theory. I don't want a lot of things. I just want to read this book. So I have a little over 100 pages left. Again, I'm going to try and finish it tonight. We will see. Alrighty, I'm going to bed. I did not finish the book. I have about 30-ish pages left. And things are happening. So my original prediction, which I didn't tell you what it was because it would have been very spoilery. And now I'm not sure if it's going to happen, which is good because it was a prediction of something I'm like, if this happens, this is stupid. I don't want it to happen. So we'll see about that. I will have a spoilery review though after this. I'll talk about all the books and all the spoils. So hopefully, not hopefully, I will definitely finish this tomorrow. Like I said, 30 pages left, but it's like 10:30 and I'm tired and I have a long day tomorrow. So I will get it finished and I'll talk to you then. Bye. All right, day, I think 10, 11, I don't know. I finished the book this morning. Yep. Okay guys, I finished the book. I had a little bit of break between a couple appointments this morning and I had like 30 pages left and I finished it. And I'm gonna sit down because I'm tired. I ended up liking this more than I thought I would, to be honest. I think I'm gonna give it a solid like 4 stars. If it wasn't so hyped, I might have given it 5, but it's been super hyped and there's no way it could have lived up to that. So I'm gonna give it a solid 4. I'm gonna think about it for a day and then maybe tomorrow I'll have some time and I can, oh no, tomorrow I have a dentist appointment. So I think filming would be a mistake. Friday. I will film and I will talk about the differences and I'll probably get into all the spoilery things because I've tried to make this very unspoilery. This next section is going to be very spoilery. So I'm going to talk about the differences between the characters and the books and maybe a few final thoughts that aren't spoilery. Thanks for coming on the journey with me, guys. It's fun. Okay. It's done. So I read all 3 books. I'm going to talk about all 3 books. I'm going to actually start with Julia Vanishes. Conclusion I came to when I read this, and I talked about it during it, and also this part's going to have spoilers. So if you don't want to know the ending of any of these 3 books, I would not watch from here on. I would read them and then come back and watch them because I'm going to be comparing and contrasting and doing all of the spoilers. But I'm going to start with this one. Even though this was the second one that I read, I'm still going to start with this one. It didn't really fit my Vanishing Women, Invisible Women tag very well. Basically, we're dealing with the girl who can just go invisible as she pleases, which I liked this book. I want to say I gave it like a maybe 4 stars. Like, it was good. I will continue on this series. I did like it. It was much more magically though, and like in Hope, there's like no magic. We don't really know why she disappears. And in Addie LaRue, there is some magic. It was weird though. I wouldn't quite call it magic, but they call it magic, whatever. But yeah, so this one, there's more magical worlds. There's different creatures and stuff like that. It is a different world than ours, which is also interesting because you don't know that at first. When you first start this book, you feel like it's just old England. Not so. So this one, as far as Invisible Women, was good, but it wasn't the same. So I'm not going to talk about this a lot actually anymore. I'm done. I'm over it now. Okay, I am going to talk about these 2 hefty boogers here. It took me about, I was trying to read both of them in like 3 or 4 days. It took me like 6 days for each of them just because I had things come up. And I mean, normally I don't tell myself I have to read so much. I just read what I feel like in a day. So I finish a book when I finish a book and I don't worry about it too much, which is one of the reasons why I struggle to do like TBRs and stuff like that. Because then I'm like, I have to read this many pages a day and wow. What if I'd rather sit and watch the Great British Bake Off or waste time doing something else? I should be able to do that. Whatever. I shouldn't waste time because I have so many books to read. Clearly. Okay. In Hope, the magic. There's no magic in Hope. In Hope, she is invisible or not invisible. You forget her as soon as you don't see her anymore. So these are more forgotten women. We don't know why she is the way she is. We don't know what has caused it. We don't know any of it. People want to help her, but then they forget that they're helping her. But she has a benefit that Addie doesn't have, outside the fact that somebody remembered Addie. She has a benefit of, she can communicate through like email and text and stuff like that. And you will remember those and you have those and you know who she is with that. It's her face that you forget. So she can be emailing you and say, hey, we're going to meet for lunch. We're going to meet for lunch. I'll have the, you know, red rose on my shirt or whatever. And then she'll sit in front of you and have the red rose and you'll be like, you must be Hope. And then if you go to the bathroom and come back, you're like, I'm looking for somebody with a red rose. You're going to forget that you saw her. You're going to forget your conversation with her and everything. But you'll remember the conversation you have on text or in print. Addie can't do that. When Addie tries to text or print, as soon as she starts typing things out, they disappear as quickly. She does them. She tries to draw something or write something, it disappears as quickly as she writes it out. She cannot leave an imprint at all, or anything that shows that she was there. She can't kill or be killed. She also doesn't age. To my knowledge, Hope ages. To my knowledge, they didn't address that. That was the other thing with Hope, is the way that time went by was interesting. Like, they didn't address it. Like, sometimes it was like months went by and I was plotting this next thing I was doing, and other times it's like how long did pass? She didn't even say. So I couldn't even tell you how long that book takes place over. It takes place over multiple continents. There's a lot of traveling that's done in it. So I imagine it takes place over a course of a couple of years, but she really doesn't say. And then we have Addie, which takes place over 300 years from beginning to end. But Addie can't leave her mark. We do know why Addie is the way she is. It's because she made a deal with she calls him the devil, but I think he's more like one of the Greek gods. Like, that's how I envisioned it. Like, he was one of the gods, because they talk about at the beginning, calling on the gods. Which god are you going to call on? And he was a dark god. You didn't want to call on him, or something along those lines, which makes me think that he's like a Greek god or something along those lines. A Norse god, Roman, whatever you want to say. He's like one of those. He's not the devil. He's a Greek god, because he also has some magical abilities and can do things like that. So it is a different way of going about the two. Of the three, my favorite I'd probably say is Hope. Though the writing was dark and darker than I thought. And there were some slow bits in this one. I would say there were some slow bits in this one, like the first 45% of it. And then this one didn't really have many slow bits at all, to be honest. It was pretty quick the whole time. Yeah, Addie was slow to get into, especially at first. I really struggled wanting to read it, or even wanting to like Addie. I don't think she's supposed to be likable. She is. She's not. So that was yet another difference between she can't leave a mark, Hope can leave a mark. But Addie doesn't age, Hope does age. Addie also has like the steel trap memory. Like, part of her curse is she remembers all the things, which I was reading. I'm like, how does she remember all the things? Then they address that. Hope does not have that. She doesn't have a perfect memory or anything like that. She is human. She just has this thing, and they don't really know why. But at the end of the book, they're like, we're going to figure out why. And there's a little bit of Hope. Hope's biggest thing is that she was lonely. Addie was lonely as well. Addie seemed content in her loneliness, though. Like in 2014, Addie's going around stealing books. Whatever. Life is life. She doesn't care. But Addie's still like lonely. Whereas Hope was lonely from like day one. I feel like Addie's like casually lonely, but Hope is obviously lonely. Now maybe Addie's like casually lonely because she's been alone for 300 years, whereas Hope's been alone since she was like 16ish, I think, is when her family like completely forgot her. Though there is a person that does remember Hope. Her sister. She has a sister who, I'm forgetting what's wrong with her, but she has special needs, so she's not able to communicate clearly, but she remembers Hope. And she's in like so she's an adult at this point. She's probably in her early 20s, and she's in like a home, like a independence halfway house kind of thing, where she has caretakers, but she's independent from her parents. And her sister remembers her, so she goes and visits her sister. They both do have somebody that remembers them. That is interesting. Also, Hope is trying to like, well, she steals something and then somebody's trying to kill her because she stole the wrong thing. And then she's like, I'm going to team up with this person and figure out what's wrong with me. And then that person like manipulated her and was like brainwashing her and trying to turn her into a soldier that would kill for her. Hope figures it out. Hope runs away. And then has some trust issues after that. Gee, I wonder why. And then Hope is trying to re-find that person, helping the other guys that were going to kill her find this person that manipulated her and like kill her. Like, so that's like, there was like more of a vengeance plot and things like that with Hope. With Addie, it was more romance driven. It was more, this guy remembers me, we fall in love with each other, but then she has this fling thing with Luke, her god, devil guy, as well, before the guy. But it's still kind of, every time he sees her, talks to her, you feel it in that conversation a little bit too. So there was that as well. There was also a thing in Addie, which wasn't in Hope, but because Addie was 300 years and Hope wasn't, where she would inspire people with their art, and then she would be able to see herself over the years, over the 300 years, in art, in different art things that she inspired. And yeah, and that was interesting. Like, they talk about her freckles a lot, which I was fine with the freckles. I like the freckles. I think that's what these stars are, the freckles. I imagine they'd be like this over the nose. I don't know. But that was a clever thing, a way for Addie to feel like she was seen. And then at the end with the book, she's seen. So I liked that as well. So there are aspects of Addie I liked. I liked a lot of Addie. There were parts of it that I just felt the writer took the easy way out. There were parts of it that I felt were a little lazy sometimes, which I was just like, don't do that. The big lazy, which I thought the whole time that Henry was going to be Luke, like in disguise, or Luke like made human or something like that, and he just wanted to experience something with her, so he did that to himself. I was going to be really, 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 really mad if that was the thing, if that was the hook, that it was Luke the whole time. She really fell in love with Luke, not Henry. I was going to be like, what? Are you kidding? I was going to be so mad, but that is not what happened. So thank you, V.E. Schwab, for not doing that. I did think it was interesting that Luke and Henry looked so similar, because Luke is designed to look like how she wants him to look, like something desirable, something good looking. And Henry just happens to have those qualities, which was a little convenient and weird for me. Again, slightly lazy writing. I was like, well, you should have had something different for a reason that they look so similar. Outside of, well, I lucked out and the hottest man in the world caught me stealing a book. It's my lucky day. So I had some problems with LaRue. I didn't have a lot of problems with Hope, except that it was darker than I thought it was going to be. There were some slow bits, and then it was depressing, which I guess that kind of goes with the dark, but there you go. That was the thing. But I would say that one was probably my favorite. Hope was. I didn't have a lot of issues with Julia. It was very YA. It was very YA fantasy, which, I mean, maybe I wasn't in the mood for YA fantasy, but like I said, I did like it and I would read more. I enjoyed it completely. I also heard that Schwab might be doing a sequel to Addie LaRue, which I don't know if I want to read it. The ending was good. Like, I feel like by the time we got like 70-75% of the way through the book, how it ended is how it had to end. Any other ending I would have been very unpleased with. I think she ended it the only way possible. And it is a little open-ended, but I think it's good and open-ended. I mean, Hope was open-ended, and technically Julia is a first in the series, so that doesn't count if it's open-ended. But I don't know. I don't think that there should be a sequel because I just don't think there should be a sequel. I think she should just leave it alone. Plus, I will be honest, I have a rough relationship with Schwab and some of her sequels. I tend to not like them. I think Vengeful, which is back here, is the only sequel of hers that I've liked. I think everything else that I've read sequels or continuations of, I have hated. I've pretty much always liked the first book. But the afters, I'm just like, just stop. And I had problems with Vengeful. Like, I liked it, but I wish it would have been more like a companion novel versus a sequel, which has like these characters from before. I wish she would have scrapped all the characters from before, just done it in the same world. And I think that would have helped with some of the pacing in that book and helped with just a lot of things in that book. But that is neither here nor there. So I'm hoping that there isn't a sequel. And as far as I know, Claire North doesn't do sequels. I could be wrong. I don't know all of her books or anything like that, but I did like this one. So if you are in the mood for a Invisible Woman, a Forgotten Face, something like that, this is a good one though. If you've gotten this far in the vlog, I've already spoiled the crap out of this, so hopefully you've already read it. So I guess there's not a recommendation to be had. I think that is it. I'm curious if you guys have read these 3 books, or if you guys know of more books with Forgotten Women, Invisible Women, stuff like that. I would be interested in hearing about those. I know there's an Invisible Woman one. I'm forgetting who wrote it, but Alfred Hitchcock did a movie on it, so it was based on a book, but I'm forgetting who it was, and it's either called The Invisible Woman or The Lady Vanishes. It might be called The Lady Vanishes. So I guess I could go that route, but if you know of those, by all means let me know. I could pick them up and maybe do a part 2 of Invisible Women reading vlog. Also, congratulations if you made it to this point, because this thing has got to be well over half an hour long. So you must really be interested in what I have to say if you got this far. But if you have read these 3 and you did get this far, tell me which one of these 3 was your favorite, or tell me your thoughts on these books. Tell me your thoughts on Addie, and did you like it, did you not like it, what were the reasons you did or didn't like it, or even in Hope. I'd be very interested. I don't know anybody else who's read this, though I heard about it on BookTube, so I feel like somebody's read it, because I heard about it from you guys. And Julia Vanishes, which I also heard about on BookTube. So I feel like, again, people should have read this one. They were all good. If they weren't 4 stars, they were all close to 4 stars. I liked all of them. They were different in good ways, but I want to discuss with other people and hear what you guys have to say about it. So please comment down below. Let me know which one's your favorite if you've read them all, or let me know something you did or didn't like about the ones that you have read, because I would be interested in all the discussions down below. I hope everything is going well with you. I look forward to seeing you again. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, but definitely comment if you made it this far. And I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments. Bye.